All right, let's jump right in. We're about to break down a pretty wild goal: how to build $1 million net worth in just 1 year. And look, this isn't about motivational quotes. This is a precise, step-by-step execution blueprint. So let's get into it. So, the big question on the table: $1 million, about 8.3 crore rupees, in just 365 days. Is that even possible? Well, the source material we're looking at says yes, absolutely, but not through hope or luck. It's mathematical, and it requires a seriously aggressive, non-negotiable system. Let's see what that math really looks like. And here it is. This is the number that brings the whole dream down to earth. To hit that massive target, you have to be making 75,000 rupees in pure profit. Not revenue, not sales, profit. Every single day. No exceptions. This is the bedrock of the entire system. Okay, so that brings us to our first section, the $1 million math. We have to understand these numbers because, well, they are completely non-negotiable. This isn't a flexible foundation, it's a rigid one. First things first, let's be super clear about what won't get you there. As you can see, your standard salary, sticking money in a savings account, or making small investments, it's just not going to cut it. The timeline is way too aggressive for that. You need a completely different kind of engine. Which leads us perfectly into section 2, picking your path. The key phrase here is high leverage vehicle. And the most important word in that whole subtitle? 1. The blueprint is crystal clear. You have to focus. So what are these paths? The blueprint lays out 4 realistic options. You could become a high-ticket consultant, maybe charging a few lakh for a project. You could build a specialized agency. Think AI, video, marketing. You could create a digital product that scales, like a course or a simple software. Or, hey, if you already have over 1 crore in capital, you could get into trading. But notice the rule here. You pick one lane. Just one, and you master it. All right, now we're getting to the absolute heart of this whole thing. Section 3, the daily execution system. If the math is the foundation, this is the engine that actually drives you forward every single day. The system breaks your entire day into 4 distinct, purpose-driven blocks of time. The morning is for building your skill. Midday is purely for outreach and sales. The evening is when you actually deliver for your clients. And the night, that's when you put on your CEO hat. Let's break each one down. So, those first 2 or 3 hours of your day, they are sacred. This is your money skill time. You are not working in your business here, you are working on yourself. This is where you sharpen your axe, mastering a high-income skill that makes you more valuable in the market. Next up, the midday block. And this whole period is defined by just one number, 100. That's your target. 100 cold DMs, 100 emails, 100 proposals, whatever it is for your business. It's not about making every single one perfect. It's about the sheer volume of activity to keep your pipeline full. And, this slide really says it all. The mindset is blunt because the reality is simple. If you're not doing outreach, you're not making money. The moment you stop selling, the cash flow stops, period. Okay, so in the evening, you switch gears. You go from selling to delivering. This is where you do the actual work for clients, or you build out that digital product. And the goal here is twofold. 1, get amazing results that get you paid, and 2, get powerful testimonials that you can use as fuel for tomorrow's sales block. And finally, your day ends with a short 30-minute CEO mode. Now, this isn't about doing more work. It's about working smarter. You look at your key numbers, you find the single biggest thing that's slowing you down, the bottleneck, and you create a plan to fix just that one thing tomorrow. So how does this daily grind actually add up to $1 million? Well, that's section 4, the 12-month revenue ladder. This shows how that relentless daily action compounds over the course of a year. Let's just walk through this journey. For the first 2 months, you're basically in survival mode. You're mastering your skill, you're landing those first few clients to get some cash flow. Then, months 3 to 5, you shift into agency mode. You're systemizing, raising your prices, maybe hiring a person or 2. The second half of the year is all about scale. And that final push, months 10 to 12, is the multiplier phase. This is where you introduce something that decouples your time from your income, like a high-ticket group program or simple software tool that pushes you over that finish line. But here's the thing. A perfect blueprint is totally useless if you don't have the right mindset. So our final section is maybe the most important. What kills the goal? This is all about the mindset of success versus failure. And honestly, this slide is the final exam. On the left, you got the truths you have to live by. Daily execution is way more important than having the perfect strategy. Consistency will always beat raw intelligence. And on the right, you have the goal killers. The things you have to avoid like the plague: jumping between too many ideas, obsessing over perfection, and the biggest one of all, avoiding the sales call because you're scared. And that really brings us to the end. The system, the blueprint, it's all laid out with almost military precision. There's no mystery in the numbers or the daily actions you need to take. So the only question left isn't about the plan. The question is about you. The blueprint is clear.